We've got the incomparable Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama here to break down Bama on both sides of the football. Check out the other videos. You can catch Stephen's work in my own words every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on YouTube at 6:30 Central. And get locked in. This is the time to do it. It's spring football. Be an expert and check out Stephen. Touchdown Alabama as well. Well, the defense was 18th in total defense, 17th in points given up. Really strong in the red zone and yards per play, a top 22 unit there. As we move on to the secondary, of course, the big losses there. Caleb Downs through the transfer portal to Ohio State. Trey Amos, a cornerback loss within the conference to Ole Miss. So let's start there at cornerback, and I see a slew of 5-stars coming in at both corner and safety, but how does it stack up? Well, Damani Jackson, of course, coming in from USC. That's a huge addition.
That's a huge addition. And people like to say, well, USC struggled defensively last season. That was not on Damani Jackson. A lot of that was the scheme and the structure from Alex Grinch. That was not on Damani Jackson. This kid, former 5-star, this kid can play. He can flat play. And so coming to Alabama, he's going to be coached by Coach Maurice Linguist, who's got experience in the SEC, who's got experience in the NFL, coaching the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be fun to see what Coach Mo can do in developing the talent and the technique that is Damani Jackson at one of two corner spots. The corner opposite of him, that will be where the fun is, because you got Jaleel Hurley, who's the lone 2023 scholarship holdover at that cornerback spot. And so you got Hurley from Florence, Alabama. I like Hurley, but behind him, you got the Young Bucks. This is going to be real fun here. With behind Hurley, you got Rydarius Morgan, you got Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., you got Jalen Mbakwe, you got Xavier Brown, who's got Patrick Surtain like teach tape. You got Xavier Mincy. You got dudes at that cornerback spot. So, Damani Jackson can hold down a spot at one corner position coming up from USC. That other spot's going to be a full-on fight through spring ball. And that's going to be where the fun is. Who rises from this pack of young guys to say, I'm ready now, put me in the pan, let me go to work. There could be some growing pains in there, but if the upside outweighs the growing pains, let's see what we got here. So that's at the cornerback spot. Damani Jackson coming over from USC. He would anchor down one area, but the spot opposite him is where the fun starts.
And that bar is sky high, of course, based on the cornerback play at Alabama, and most notably and most recently, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrion Arnold. They, of course, are moving on to the NFL. Malachi Moore, of course, good to see him back at the safety position. So he anchors that group back there. So how do you size up the safety spot?
That's going to be fun, too, because you look at Malachi coming back for his fifth season, and big for him because his freshman year, 2020, we remember he exploded onto the scene, and we all thought this guy's going to be, 3 years and gone, after his freshman season. But he encountered some injuries, some tough moments there, and then Brian Branch just really took off. Then, of course, last year we saw Malachi, the bounce back year, healthy, 52 tackles, 5 of those for loss, 5 pass breakups, 1 interception, showing you he still got it. So this upcoming season, you look at Malachi, he could either be in that Husky Rover, close to the line of scrimmage defensive back to where he is playing those run fits. He's also playing in coverage as well, kind of in that star nickel corner role that he's been known for playing in, or he could be moved to safety due to his experience back there as well. Played a lot of safety in high school, Hewitt Trustfield here in Alabama. So it's going to be interesting to see what do they do with Malachi. Do they keep him closer to the box as that nickel corner, allow him to use that physicality, or do they put him back there at safety and let him utilize those coverage skills? That's going to be fun there. For 2 safeties, you bring over Keon Sabb from Michigan. And here's a guy that can play some ball also. Keon Sabb, a season ago, helping the Wolverines get to, a Big Ten championship, college football playoff, and then winning a national championship under one Jim Harbaugh. Saba's got some versatility. He can play corner. He can play safety. Where does Kane Womack feel the most comfortable placing him? Even if he plays safety, opposite him, you got Devontae Smith, who is back. He missed a lot of time last year due to a foot injury. He came back throughout a portion of 2023, played in the SEC championship game, got some burn there in the Rose Bowl. So you have him back. And then you got Tony Mitchell, former five-star in that 2023 class from Thompson High School. He came in the same class with Caleb Downs. Of course, Downs became the big star. He's now at Ohio State now, by the way, the transfer portal. But Tony Mitchell can ball. He came in at 6'2", 205 pounds. He's probably at 210 now. And then Tony Mitchell at the bowl prep there for the Rose Bowl did a lot of work there running with the second team. So this Alabama secondary gonna be fun to see how this shapes up. You got Peyton Woodyard, who came in that 2024 class, by the way, of St. John's Bosco High School in California. That young brother can play too. So the safety position, the corner position, you got some veterans there. When you discuss Malachi Moore and guys with experience, Damani Jackson, Keon Sabb, Devontae Smith, a little experience there this past season at Alabama. But this secondary, it's going to be competition. Who wants it bad enough? And spring ball is going to be exciting, Mark.
That's a lot of names, and I know all of them can run. That's for sure. And of course, I don't remember what Bama back it was, but Keon Sabb made himself, he had a introductory greeting there at the Rose Bowl. I remember out there in the flat, he met somebody out there in the second half.
Yeah, he put a lick on somebody out there in that matchup. So this secondary, Coach Mo Linguist, who will primarily coach corners, Coach Scott Hitzler, who's got this massive safety background. Going to be fun to watch these two coaches develop this back end of this defense.
Well, Stephen, it's certainly got to be a sense of pride and a very unique experience to be able to say, I am the all-time scoring leader in college football. And Will Reichard can say that. And regardless of what he ever does at the next level, he will be and is at this point the all-time scoring leader in college football, which is an amazing accomplishment, of course. But he moves on. The punter's back. The guys returning the punts and kickoffs, when you look at Downs and McKinstry, of course, they've moved on. So kind of size this up in the special teams area.
Well, first and foremost, thank goodness you got James Burnett back, flipping the field from a punting aspect. Made huge improvement between his first year and this past season. This past year, I think he averaged a little over 48 yards a punt. He really did well. In the Rose Bowl, Burnett was the MVP. I mean, he was pinning Michigan back inside for 20 several times in that matchup. So very huge to have James Burnett here back in the fold.
And not to cut you off, Stephen, but of course he almost won the game. When
I'm telling you, he did. He nearly. I'm telling you, if Bama holds on and wins 20-13, you would have to give the MVP to Burnett. You would literally have to give the MVP to James Burnett. That's how good he was. I mean, on the punt that his legs got taken out in, I mean, that punt was a 55, 60-yard boomer. I mean, he really made a jump from the first year, 2022, to last year. Absolutely. An impressive jump, but happy to have him back. When you look at the kicking aspect, it's crying tears, losing Will Reichard. As much as you want to give him another year, he's off to the NFL, and congrats to that young man. Accomplished so much in his time here in Tuscaloosa. The NCAA's all-time leading kicker, scored where points are concerned, but not just that. He was the one that erased all the kicking woes that happened across the landscape. When you look at Alabama football, a guy that you never had to worry about, is the kick going to go through? You had the confidence that 16, wearing that jersey from Hoover, Alabama, was going to make the kick, and wish the absolute best for Reich, whichever team picks him up in the NFL draft. But Connor Talty, who came in the 2023 class, spent a lot of time around Reichard. Reichard kind of took him under his wing, coached him up a whole lot, a great deal. So hopefully a lot of the lessons that Talty took from Reichert have rubbed off on him, and we can see a continuation of greatness in the kicking game from Connor Talty. When you discuss the kickoff return, punt return specialist here, I look at guys like Kendrick Law could have a shot here. I look at a Kendrick Law. I look at a Emmanuel Henderson. And E-Man would have been the punt returner last year, but he got a hip injury in a summer workouts and fall camp. That was tough there on E-Man, but he's back healthy. So Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson could do it. Kobe Prentice, a guy that's got speed to burn coming out of Calera High School. That could be an interesting role for him. Cole Adams could be an interesting role for him, returning kicks and or punts. So Bama's got a few names there that can do it. It's going to come down to who feels the most comfortable fielding the ball cleanly, judging the bounce of the ball cleanly, and just when the ball hits your hands, having that ability to catch, go, and create excitement. So that's going to be the main thing there is who has the natural instinct for the ball, fielding it well, and just providing some excitement once you get it.
Well, Stephen, you know that I love these personnel breakdowns. So thank you so much. I will be spending the spring, and every time that I go to Bama about every day and try to check in, and then especially when I watch the A-Day game, then I'm like, find myself saying, oh, Stephen said this, and oh yeah, Stephen told me that. Oh yeah, I remember this battle. Okay, I got it. So you keep me ahead of the curve. I appreciate it, Stephen. It's always a pleasure, and enjoy Alabama spring practice.
Absolutely, Mark. I appreciate you, man. Take care.